Today I will be talking to you about plants and their reproduction. Um, First, before we go on into any plant business, I thought that it's important to understand mitosis and meiosis. So basically, mitosis is the division to produce two identical daughter cells. The mitosis occurs basically in any type of cell, like the skin cell or anywhere else in the body, um, except in the gametes. So the main point of mitosis is to um, re- rejuvenate, should I say, just to restore your dead cells. So in interphase, the the DNA inside the nucleus prepares a cell for mitosis, and they make sure that they have all the um, necessary things to be able to reproduce. Um, in mitosis, the steps are prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. And an easy way to remember this is PMAT. Cytokinesis is a term used to describe the splitting of the two cells. If you see in the picture telophase, you can see that it's about to divide. So yeah. And meiosis only occurs in the gametes. So meiosis is more complicated because it has two parts. The first part being meiosis 1, and the second part being meiosis 2. In meiosis 1, the, the chromosomes in a diploid cell resegregate, producing 4 haploid daughter cells. The whole point of this is to promote variation and in meiosis, when you go into meiosis 2, there is no interphase. You just go straight into the separating of the chromatids. And the result of this is that there are 4 daughter cells, each with a different code of DNA. They're all different, and they're haploid. So, if you didn't know already, plants reproduce just like we do. It's just that they require a few more steps. In this reproduction that I'm going to talk about, it only occurs in ferns and mosses. So, the life cycle that alternates between a diploid phase and a haploid phase is called the alternation of generations. And basically, a plant's diploid plant body produces spores through meiosis, and a spore develops into a haploid plant body. But you'll see that soon. In the diploid phase, it always starts off with a zygote, which the zygote is basically a fully fertilized egg. So from the zygote, it divides by mitosis to grow into a sporophyte, and the spore-producing plant produces spores and divides by meiosis to divide the chromosomes, which started with 2N to N. And in the haploid phase, it begins with a spore, and it divides by mitosis to grow into a gametophyte. So in this case, it doesn't produce, the gametophyte produces gametes, whereas the sporophyte produces spores. So the gametes can only produce 2N, so the difference between that is gametes produce 2N, whereas sporophytes produce 1N. And the 2N can once again become fertilized to become the diploid plant. So that's where we see the cycle, and that's called the alternation of generations. Now, for the reproduction in flowering plants, in this case it's for the angiosperms, you'll see that it has many different parts that aid in the reproduction of the flowers. First, we have the sepal. The sepal's main purpose is to protect the ovary, and it keeps the flower together. The petal's main purpose is to attract insects such as bees to support the pollination, and the stamen involves two parts, the anther and the filament. The anther is the top part. It's very sticky, which helps it to pick up the pollen grains that fall from either the bees or from wind, rain, any kind of abiotic or biotic factor. And the filament's purpose is to hold the stamen upright so that it can reach the pollen grains. The pistil, its main job, no, the pistil has three parts: is the stigma, style, and the ovary. The stigma is where the pollens are picked up, and the style is a passageway for the pollen grains to fall in to lead into the ovary. And the ovary is basically where all of the fertilization and reproduction occurs. So, um, thank you.